Good afternoon, everyone. There are two students here. AR, one is showing AR and the other one Navsheen. Can you just respond? Navsheen? Navsheen or AR? Yeah, thank you, Navsheen. Let's begin the class while your friends join in between. Now, today we are going to do block 2, unit 7. The topic that we are going to do is types of verbs. That is the second unit with the same name. Like, you have done unit number 6, which also deals with verbs. We have been speaking a lot of types of verbs. So now just let us do a small quick revision at the same time as we are doing today's lesson. So today's topic is types of verbs. We already understood that verbs are divided into 3 types. That is lexical, full or main verbs. And the second one is primary verbs or modal verbs. In the previous class, we have done only the lexical verbs or the full or the main verbs. Now, when we speak about the primary verbs or the modal verbs, basically we can say that, the verbs are divided into 2 types, not 3 exactly. So let us look at this chart here now. Now look at this. Verbs are divided into main verbs or auxiliaries. The main verbs are nothing but the full verbs or the lexical verbs that we have learned in the previous class. Now, when we speak about the auxiliaries, what is an auxiliary? We are going to learn everything now, but just understand that both the primary verbs and the modal verbs, more or less, they both do the same function. That is the reason you can categorize them under the same heading. So when we speak about the primary verbs, we mainly will be dealing with the 3 words that are the forms of these words: be, do, and have. So when it comes to be, these are the forms that we use it when we write or when we speak. Am, is, are, was, and were. And do, does, do, did. And when it comes to have, has, have, had. Now, when we look at the models, these are the things. So when we are doing with that, I'll come in detail with that. Let us now move on to the next. This is basically again the same thing, repetition in a small way so that you would understand, right? Yeah. I request those who are there in the class today to open their textbook. It is very important that we follow the textbook as we are doing the lesson, and so that you can underline important things, right? So when we speak about the auxiliary verbs, be, do, and have, these are nothing but, this auxiliary means something that provides supplementary or additional help or support. More or less, you can call them as helping verbs. They tend to help the main verb. That is the reason they are called the auxiliary verb. So auxiliary verb helps the main or the full verb and is also called helping verb. It is also called helping verb. Now let us look at more about this auxiliary verb. With auxiliary verbs, you can write sentences in different tenses, moods, or voices where their role is as operators. Now, what do generally operators do? They connect you, right? They connect your call to the other things and all that. Same way here, the auxiliary verb, it actually connects to the main action and puts little more sense in what the noun is doing. So you have auxiliary verbs like this. Auxiliary verbs are be, do, have, will, shall, would, should, can, could, may, might, must, ought, etc. See, like, when we speak about the past tense form of these words or the probability forms, that is where you have them as their helping verbs. Now let us see these few sentences over here. I think I should study harder to master English. Yeah, after going through the textbook that we are dealing with now, we we can understand that we need to emphasize on our learning path and also spend more time in understanding the basic rules of language so that you can master it. I think I should study harder to master English. I am having a cup of tea or a coffee. You have been practicing hard. Let's say if I use a negative form of this sentence, how would I write it? You have been practicing hard is the sentence. So what will I do when I say negative? That is anything which I say I haven't done, that becomes a negative sentence. You have not been practicing hard. It was written by a petitioner. You may choose what you like. Now, now we'll try to understand what is the main function, meaning of these words, and also the main function that they do. So basically, we are learning about the primary axillary verbs, which are be, do, and have. What does verb be do? It linking subject and complement. It always links the subject and also gives a complement to it. Read the sentence here. He is the best teacher. So it is qualifying. The subject is teacher. How is the teacher? He is the best teacher. So it also gives a compliment to him. And be also shows continuous aspect. That is, in the ing forms, you can use it. She is studying hard. So it is not that she has studied now and she is stopping it. She is going to continue the process. Showing passive voice. The class is cancelled. Now, active and passive voice you must have learned in your school days, right? She's speaking about the same thing over here. Creating questions. So the class is cancelled is the statement over there. Is the class cancelled? So what is that it is doing? It is asking questions. So these verbs have few qualities of doing things. So these are the qualities of the verb be. Creating questions. So let us do what the word do does. Offering do support emphasis. So do support I will tell in detail again when we are going through the reader. It also helps, the word do helps, gives lot of support to form the negative sentence. For example, let us look at this example here. She did not do well. So what is do doing here? It is supporting not. It is also complementing the word there did. So the performance of the person is mentioned over here. So it is very clear here. It stresses on why the student or the person over there, it is only she over here, or let me say, why Manjula didn't perform well. So why did she do it? If I question it, you will get the answer because she did prepare well. So this is how you get, the do support emphasizes words, and that is where do always goes, most of the time they come with the negative sentences. And they help you to create questions. How do you do it? We did it in the first example also. Did you observe here in B? Is the class cancelled? So it is giving you information. Is it cancelled or not? The same way here, did she do well in the exam? So you can give your answer here, yes or no. She didn't do it. You got the answer there. She did not do well. Right. Now let us look at have. This I'm going through again, like we'll be doing each individual word separately again. Try to follow over here. We'll do a reading in the textbook also because very clearly in an order in the textbook it has been given. And there are a lot of examples there. These are not the same examples that I have given here. I have picked up some other words, sentences so that you would understand better. Now let us look at have. It is showing perfect aspect. I have studied every day. So it tells that I have done something. So it is, the work is done. So it speaks in the perfect tense over here. And also have helps in creating questions. Have you studied well or hard? Yes. So these three verbs, They help in creating questions. That is a common feature among them. And also at the same time, you find that be is linking the subject and also complementing the main verb in the sentence. Now let us go to the next further. Before we go into this, now just understand what do means. Do means to perform. It is an action, the precise nature of which is often unspecified. That is exactly, it may not mean only to perform, it can be anything. It can be a contextual meaning. It can change wherever it is. So there are some synonyms over here I mentioned here in the PPT for you all. All these words, again, they are the synonym for words for do. That is almost the same. They mean the same, similar thing. Okay, look at the sentences. Does she get up early in the morning? So now you are not writing do as it is. You are taken the third form of it. So do, the past tense form is did. And next, the past participle is done. So you are using does over here. So then look at those sentences first. Does she get up early in mornings? So here again, it is a question that is being asked. Do you like to spend time at home? I think I did okay, right? I want you all to open your readers. I hope everyone is ready with your textbooks there. Please do respond. Any one of you all, can you just respond?
Yes, ma'am.
So I don't see any response. Now let us speak about what mainly the auxiliaries are. You know, these auxiliaries, they help you in yes/no questions, in WH questions. When I speak, you know, what is WH question over here? That is what, when, where, how, all these questions come over here. And also in negations. Negations are nothing but when we use the words, when we say no to it, never, you know, such words. So let us look at few examples here. The questions that were answered with either yes or no, we put an auxiliary verb. Are you coming? Yes, I am. So you are saying here, what is the form of am over here? Be. Be form we are using over here. Can you drive a truck? Yes, I can. Do you know his name? Yes, I do. Or if you say no, you are saying no, I don't. Did you arrive on time? Yes, I did. No, I didn't. Have you heard the news? Yes, I have. No, I haven't. Will you have time? Yes, I will. No, I won't. So this is where you are using these words in yes or no. This is where you put an auxiliary verb over there. Now let us look at this WH questions. I hope this is clear here. You have these signboards over here. That is who, what, where, when, why, and how. So these are called, you know, these are where the question words, these are called the questioning words. And plus the auxiliaries or the modal verb plus subject plus verb is how the sentence formation is done. Now let us look at the sentence here. What are the students reading? What are they reading? Is a question there. So when you answer, you will answer it. They are reading whatever it is. So now here, what is the questioning word? Are is the auxiliary word. These students are the subject here. Reading again is the second verb, main verb in this sentence. I hope this sentence will help you understand it better. Right? So that is clear. Let us go to few WH questions. These are the sentences where you can very clearly understand. I have placed them under the, wherever they have to come under the column so that you would understand it better. Where do you live? When will we have lunch? The answer can be I live at, we'll have lunch at, she met, I like the most, she hasn't done it because. So these are how you form these question words. And negations are words like no, not, and never. So whenever you say no, not, or never, we can call them negations. So when you look at these negations, you know, they tend to give a negative opinion to others when we say that. So these are few forms, tenses and models. So before we come into this, I want you all to open page number. I want you all to open page number 109. Yes. Are you ready with the readers? Please do respond, or at least let me know in the chat box. Please do respond.
Yes, ma'am, we have readers.
Fine, I think nobody is responding. I'll go ahead with the reader part. Now, if you look at your textbook, when you go through the lesson, the chapter in the textbook, if you see page number 109, very clearly a small introduction has been given, which is about the previous chapter 2, the previous unit that we have done, types of verbs. So it is explained. So it explains very clearly about the types of verbs. We have the mainly three types of verbs, that is the lexile verbs or the main verbs or full verbs. And the second one are the primary axillary verbs and the modal axillary verbs. So we are doing now, we have done a quick revision or what you can say that, introduction of those verbs. And if you look into your page number 110, when we deal with the axillary verbs, these are nothing but they are otherwise also called as helping verbs, because they try to supplement or they try to add some connection. They try to link the words over there. So that's the reason the main verb, it helps the main verb to be connected with the rest of the sentence or to the subject. If you see the main primary verbs are be, have and do. Just look in page number 110. You have a small box over there in box where the primary verbs be, have and do are mentioned, and their forms are also very clearly mentioned. So this, you need to understand that for these verbs, these are the forms. And now, if you look the paragraph, if you go through the paragraph that's given below the inbox there, when the modal verbs only function as auxiliary verbs, the primary verbs can function both as auxiliary verbs and as a main verb. So here, this is one important point that you need to understand. So sometimes these primary verbs can function both as auxiliary verb and the main verb. The word auxiliary means something that provides supplementary or additional help or support. This is what we just now learned also. I have introduced that to you all, and I explained also how they complement, or you can say that they supplement these particular verbs, the main verbs. The auxiliary verbs provide various kinds of support to the main verb within the word phrase. So now again you are clear with what is a phrase. So please understand that whenever an action phrase is there, so what happens in it tries to support that particular phrase. So it is incomplete. A phrase is incomplete, so it completes it. That's the reason in the definition itself you have supplementary or additional help and support. Please do understand that. Now look at these sentences here. They finished their work early last evening. So try to put a question on this. When did they finish their work? So you get the same sentence as answer. They did not finish their work early last evening. Did they finish their work early last evening? Right. Now, you need to understand that the verb do, it has some negative forms also. It is a dummy. It acts as if a dummy in a sentence. So how it acts, we are going to learn a little further. But let's look at the sentences where that are given. They are traveling by bus. They were traveling by bus. They have planned an outing. They had planned an outing. So when we speak, look at the first sentence there. They are traveling by bus. So this is an action which is being done or which is continuous. Even now they must be traveling. They were traveling by bus. So what is the word were say over here? What does it say? In which tense is this word here? Yes? Any one of you? Now, Shin, can you respond?
Yes, ma'am.
I think others are not responding. Yeah, I had this. I think Shamu, can you respond? What is the tense form of there? In the second sentence, that is the number given in the reader is 5, sentence 5. Fourth one is they are traveling by bus, which is a continuous action. Now, what about sentence 5? Okay, this is a past action. This is already being done. They have planned an outing. They have planned. So that is something which has happened now. They have planned. And the second one is they had planned an outing. So what do these sentences say? Can any one of you all explain? Please turn to page number 111 or 111. Yeah, when you look at these sentences, you see that there is no difference in the main verb. So let us read the sentence. Yeah, thank you, Aisha, for responding. They have planned an outing. So the planned verb, planned is in the same form, but the tense is inside. That is, have and had. They give a different meaning over there, right? So you can see that, in seventh one, it is in past tense. What is the sentence there? Seventh one, they had planned an outing, and have is in the present tense. I hope this is clear for you all. Yes. Now, one common function that helps us identify all of them as auxiliaries is their role as operators in sentence. Now, what is this role that they are doing in sentences? Why we are calling them operators? Because they are set to act as operators when they come in the first position of an auxiliary. That is auxiliaries plus verb combination. So, if you look at these sentences, you can see that, they have planned. So, have and planned is the have is what it is acting as an operator. It is telling us what is the work, that action that is being done over there. Got it? Now we have already in the slides just now in the presentation I have shown you the yes and no questions. Just look into the reader there. Very nice way it has been explained. It is very clear for you all. Though I have shown on the slides, if you can do a reading, quick reading about, go through the paragraph given over there, you will understand that it is very easy to follow. Just look at the sentence 8, 9, and 10. Jane is coming tomorrow, right? Azhar will be playing for India today. So you have seen the sentence there. Now, how will you change it into a question form? What can be the first one if you want to ask a question about it? First sentence, Jane is coming tomorrow. Anyone want to give a try? Or today everyone want to be silent?
Madam, can you repeat again?
Yes, Shamu. Your voice is not audible, Shamu.
Can you repeat again, madam, question? Madam, can you repeat the sentence again?
It's there in the chat box so that it will be visible for me. So when I say the sentence is Jane is coming tomorrow, if I would raise a question for this statement, is Jane coming tomorrow, right? So what is the place of is there? Is this changing its position? It's coming in the front and the question is found over there. Will Azhar be playing for India today? So again, you can see that will is changing its place and the question is formed. Now you may feel that why are we learning this yes and no questions? Because these are very important when you do your writing part, and also when you try to speak. These are very important in language. Unless and until you know how to place those words or the vocabulary that you're going to use or the verbs that you're going to use. Or let me use the word as word forms. If you're not aware of the word forms and their functions, your presentation would go wrong. This is what it is all about. So you need to learn and be thorough a little bit about the verbs. And also as you put it into practice, you will learn them. Okay. Now let us look in page number 112. So see how the position is shown over there. The arrows have been placed in the page. where, the position of is where it is changing. It is also shown over there. Will in the second sentence, had in the third sentence. It's very clear. Yes, is it clear for everyone? I think at least you can respond in the chat. I can't hear your voice. If I think Shamu was trying to speak, I couldn't hear him. Others can at least post in the chat box. Okay. Now let us look at 7.2.2. That is where our WH questions come. So here, just look at the pictorial description also given there, pictures where is also marked over there. When is Jane coming? Let us look at this question. When is Jane coming? So if you can say, the answer can be yes, yeah, she is coming today. Or no, she won't be coming today, she is coming tomorrow. It can be anything. Yes or no forms, you can place the questions. But what do you know? Notice over here in these sentences, just look at the verbs that are rounded up over there. Is, will, and had have been rounded up. So when you change them into a question form, is when is Jane coming? Can you see that arrow there? Yes. And where is the position of the operator? Can we call them as operators now? Yeah, they are called operators because they are initiating and connecting to the verb there. That is the main verb. That is the reason they're called. Yes. And when we see that, this question is something like interrogative questions. So almost all the questions, that is what the police department does. They keep asking you if you go for a complaint, where were you, what time did you go there, when did you go there, with whom did you go there, how it has happened, and all this. So these are all, whenever we would try to use them with the interrogative sentences or the WH word questions, you will notice that immediately after the WH word, you will find these operators are placed. Okay, the position is very clear. It is after the WH words, you will find them placed. So we are speaking about the position of these words there. Now let us do the next topic, that is auxiliaries in negations. Now, negative form of sentences in English is called negations, and nothing more than that. You can use not, never, I will not, they will not, we will not, these forms. So just look at the sentences down. Jane is not coming tomorrow. Azhar will not be playing for India today. Pashmina had not been known to be the best quality wood. So what do you observe over here? You always observe that whenever we use the negative word not, you'll find that not is inserted after finding out the first auxiliary. So that is next to the first auxiliary word, you find this not is inserted. I will show you a few sentences. I think in the reader itself, they have given very beautifully. Words, if you don't place them properly, grammatically they go wrong. The word form also of the word goes wrong. The sentence is wrong, and it gives a negative meaning also. In the next page, we have that exercise. I hope this is clear for you. When in the auxiliaries in negations, you need to use it. You will find that it comes after the primary auxiliary verb. Immediately after that, it can be inserted. Now coming to the dummy role of do. We are going to learn that how do plays a dummy role over here. Let us look at sentences 20, 21, and 22 in page number 114 or 114. Look at the sentences there. 20. Jinson Johnson won a gold medal at the Asian Games. So this is a statement. It's a statement, and this person has won a gold medal at the Asian Games. Let us look only at the first sentence for you to have a clarity about what I'm going to say. Now look at 23, sentence number 23. Won Jinson Johnson a gold medal at the Asian Games. Now in the previous topics that we learned till now, yes and no and all that, we have the position of primary auxiliary verb has changed. When we are asking, forming a question, it is going to be starting of the sentence, the place, right? And second, when we dealt with the WH words, we found that the operator is coming after the WH words, right? So here when I'm trying to ask a question over here, how do we form S-no question and also WH questions or the negative questions for these sentences? Just look at the first sentence there. Won Jensen Johnson a gold medal at the Asian Games. Now look at the next 26, question number 26, and there, what Jensen Johnson won in the Asian Games. So do you think these sentences are right? That is 23 and 26, are they right? Now let us look at this sentence here. 29, Jensen Johnson not won a gold medal in the Asian Games. This sounds more like, a sentence or a statement given by a person who is just trying to learn English. Okay, he doesn't know where to place the words properly. So now what do you think they are? They are actually grammatically wrong. They are not the correct sentences. Just look at this paragraph after the sentence 31. Do you think the sentences are grammatical? You have guessed it right. None of them are grammatical. Why they are not grammatical? It is because in all these sentences, we have tried to form a S-no question, WH question, or a negative sentence without using an axillary verb. So without using it, we have tried doing it. And what happened? We found that the way of practice of doing it is wrong. So what is the right way of doing it? We are going to learn this now. Right? But there is a rule. There is a rule which we all need to follow. We did not have an axillary verb in the sentence to make use of. So there is no axillary verb in this sentence. So how do we do it? If there is a way to repair these ungrammatical sentences, then we can do something about the sentence, right? So now here our primary verb do plays a very major role. As an axillary verb comes to the rescue in such situations. Remember, we had called it a dummy verb when it acts as an axillary. It is dummy verb because it does not exist in assertive sentences. So suppose I am trying to put some pressure on, emphasis on something that I have done. I did my exam well. So what am I doing over here? My performance from my end, I felt that I did my exam very well. The result is not in my hands, but my performance part, I did well. So here I'm emphasizing on the performance or the way I answered the paper, right? Now let us look at this do. How do we understand that do changes the sentence at all? Can we, if you turn to page number 115, you can see how it does. Just look at the yes/no questions. Here the number of the sentence is 32. Did Jensen Johnson win a gold medal at the Asian Games? It looks sensible, right? The sentence itself gives lot of sense. It makes, it gives a clear picture of the question that we need to ask in the right way. So what is the verb over here that is been added? Did, or in the form of do. So did Jensen Johnson win a gold medal at the Asian Games? Now you answer this question, you'll get yes, he did, or no, he didn't. Now WH questions. What did Jensen Johnson win in the Asian Games? What did he win? He could have, someone who is a layman to the news or who doesn't follow the games at all, he might ask you, what did he win? He doesn't know what it is all about, right? And then see the negative question sentence for this same one. Jensen Johnson did not win a gold medal in the Asian Games. So you have understood that, you can rewrite the sentence in different patterns and different ways only if you are thorough with the use of the verb. If you are not thorough with this, you are in a fixed place or a fixed situation where you don't know what you should be answering. So this has been very clearly explained to you. Only with one example I have been explaining to you. I request every one of you, after this session is over, please kindly go through the textbook, give a reading twice, thrice. If the rules are fixed in your mind, you can answer your paper. And check your progress is mandatory. I request everyone again, repeatedly, every session I'm telling you all the same thing. Check your progress. You need to answer it. Then after you answer on your own, after the session, Please try to check the answers that are given at the back. Please blindly do not follow and check the answers first. Make an attempt to answer, because tomorrow you are going to answer these in the exam. So this is how it changes its place, or the meaning, the word form also changes here and there when you place do as the auxiliary verb in the sentences whenever they are not present. Okay. Now, have you observed that the way different forms of do verb are observed in exactly the same place that we expect other auxiliaries to appear? So what happens is when we use it in different sentences, in the same sentence might be in different forms, its form also changes. Like let us observe the first sentence. Did Jimson Johnson win a gold medal at Asian Games? I'm doing 32, 33, 34. Just look here. In the second sentence, do Sanya and Sindhu train in the same academy? So here the form is do. In the first sentence, it is the past form, past tense form. Now look at 34. Does P.T. Usha train young runners in her academy? Here, does is coming again. So the form is not same. If you go through all the 9 sentences that are given there, you will see that it is not maintaining a consistency of the same form in every sentence. It's been changing its form. So that sentence, if you read the sentence twice or thrice, and also the wrong ones that are given in the previous page, that is 114, you will observe that there was a lot of, the sentences there in page number 114 were wrong. They were grammatically wrong. Where it went wrong also, you will try to make it out. And now that you are thorough with the word forms, you can make, you are sure about these things, right? Small example had been given here with the verb dance. I think you can do that later when you go through the textbook. Now, coming to the primary verbs, be, have, and do. I'm doing in page number 117 or 117. Just look at the sentences. We'll only look at the sentences and discuss about that. Now, look at the sentences. We know that, appear, like, there are a lot of verbs that appear in different forms. 2 verbs going together, they appear in different forms. Just look at this. He is a teacher. He has a beautiful house. He did a great job yesterday. He has written a beautiful poem. He did not finish his work. Yeah. Now, if you just topic that's been given there, you will understand that when 2 primary verbs appear in the same structure like is doing, has done, etc., then the verb that carries the inflection like doing, done, etc., is said to be the main verb. So now this is only for you to understand which is the main verb and which is the auxiliary verb. So if you look at the sentences there that are given there, 41 to 46, you will find that the only verb in the sentence is the primary verb in a particular form. So the same primary verb is changing its form every now and then. So that is what you can observe there. Now let us speak in detail about the primary verb do. So how can you, when you do this practice of sentences, trying answering a few blanks like this, fill in the blanks and all that are available for you online also, you find a lot of them. And in your check your progress, they have given a lot of sentences for you to do. You will be thorough with the grammar part. If you're not thorough with the grammar part as a student of English, you need to understand that particular part also. Let us look at this sentences 47 to 52. Yeah, these are assertive sentences, and it is only used in these sentences. This form is only used to emphasize, stress on that particular action. He finished all that work himself. Okay, he did finish all that work himself. He did finish all that work himself. He wakes up early morning at 4 a.m. This is a normal action. He does wake up every morning at 4 a.m. That is, without fail, he is waking up every day. They train for 8 hours every day. They train for 8 hours every day. They do train for 8 hours every day. So the word do is emphasizing that every day the practice is there or the training is there. And What does the word there in question number sentence 50 say? The does says that the activity of waking up every day is a regular feature and without fail it is being done. So here, when I showed you, when I was showing you the synonyms of the word do, it gives lot of meanings. It also has few meanings. At the same time, the synonyms also give us lot of meanings also. Right? Now look at this word be. Now let us look at this word be. We'll read out the sentences 53 to 58, page number 118. I hope every one of you are ready with your readers. So please kindly, this is a request again for those who didn't collect their textbooks. Kindly visit your study centers and collect them. So 53, passive present indefinite form. All the rooms in the hotel are occupied. Okay, the second sentence, all the rooms in the hotel were occupied. So now when you see these two sentences, one is in the present tense and the other one, anyone? Any one of you all, at least you can chat. Yeah, it is in the past tense form over here. Alan is reading a book in the next room. A book is being read in the next room. So when a book is being read, it can be read by anyone. It can be Alan or someone else also. Right? Now, Amar was reading a book in the next room. A book was being read in the next room. So this speaks about the continuous tense. Now I'll just share the chart. Let us do this part of. Yeah, let us finish with the dummy do and then we'll get back to the reader. The verb do used as an auxiliary is often called the dummy operator because it has no meaning of its own, but exists simply to fulfill the slot of operator when an operator is needed to form. For example, negative or interrogative questions. So we have seen that example just now in the reader, very clearly. I mean, very beautifully it has been given and it's explained in a very nice way. If you don't understand in the first reading, please do repeat the readings. Then you will understand it better. Okay. So whenever we use this word do, sometimes, in the negative form of the questions, it helps us to answer the question better. Here I have given an example here. Raj cycles to work every day. Raj, let me say, I write this sentence like this. Raj not cycles to work every day. We cannot simply add not. Instead, we need to insert a form of the verb do. Raj does not or doesn't cycle to work every day. I hope this is clear for you all. Just read every sentence in the slide again so that you will understand what is do support. We have spoken about this do support when we began the session today. So this do support is support which is given by the verb do whenever we insert it when required in a sentence. Got it? So when do we use this mainly? If the sentence in question already contains an auxiliary word, do support is not required. If it is there, do support is not required. If it is not there, then only we do use the support. Like, you can see this. The general rule is what, whenever it is not there, we have seen few sentences that have been given for us in page, let me see this page number 114 in the reader. It is very clearly explained few sentences that they go grammatically wrong if we do not insert it. So in those sentences, we are using do as a dummy. And sometimes have and be also appear as dummies. Without them, you can't be making a sentence. Yes, is it clear this part? At least please respond to this. Today, Shamu and Aisha, they're not even audible to me. They're not answering. I hope it is clear.
Yes, madam.
Yeah, let us look at the primary verb have. What is the meaning of have? Any one of you? Yeah, Naushim, what is the meaning of have? Have is nothing but to possess, right? And there are three different forms of have: has, have, and had. These forms precede the main verb in the perfect aspect in the active and passive voices. The active and passive voice, as I told you, you have already learned in your school days. Just do a revision about the same thing after the session is done. And when you look at the sentences here, you will recollect what you have previously learned. Okay, let us look at the examples first, and then later we will discuss. Arjun has painted a beautiful flower. A beautiful flower has been painted. You can say painted, or by Arjun also you can add over there. Arjun had painted a beautiful flower. The first one is present tense. The sentence that is 64 is past tense. A beautiful flower had been painted by Arjun. This is also past. Then let us look at the sentence 66. Alex will have written a book by this evening. That means this is what? This is almost, it's a future tense, you can say, also have written. So this is something which is going to happen later. So when is it going to happen? Today evening, not now. Okay. A book will have been written by this evening by Alex. What is a continuous tense? Continuous tense is an action which is done every day. Or, it is an action which is going on. For example, the session is going on now. So you have your class now. So this is a continuous program that has been happening. So you can use a continuous tense over here. Eddie has been teaching for 10 years. So he has been teaching for 10 years. This is an activity which has been done for a period of 10 years, which has been happening even now. It is continuing still. So that is where the continuous tense comes. Eddie had been teaching for 10 years. Eddie will have been teaching for 10 years. So you just saw the different forms of the active and the passive tenses. That is in the present tense or the perfect tense or the continuous tense and the future tense. I hope this is clear. As a single go, when you read through the sentences, if you're not good at grammar, it might be very difficult for you. You need little practice. So when will you have this practice? When you try reading the sentences again and again, the unit, try to understand what it is saying and then practice it by answering, check your progress without checking the answers at the back. When you do this, automatically you will understand what it is trying to say, and when you answer, you will know whether you are able to understand what has been taught or what is there in the reader. Good. Now look at these sentences, 71 to 75. If you look at the sentence there, Money has 2 houses in the city. Money has a lot of wealth and other assets. They have 2 sisters and no brothers. John has cancer. I have a headache. So what is here? Primary verb over here is have. The different forms of have only is there. And it is used as dative verb. That is to denote possession in an abstract sense. So that means, as I told you, have is nothing but to possess. And here it speaks about all that what money has or they have or John has. Now look at the sentences 76 to 80. Money is having 2 houses in the city. Mary is having a lot of wealth and other assets. They are having 2 sisters and no brothers, having cancer, and I am having a headache. So what do you see here? Now have cannot be expressed using the ing form. That is what is the rule over here. It is therefore ungrammatical to say the following sentence. So when you use this kind of sentences, it is wrong. That is 76 to 80, this is wrong. It is a rule that we cannot be using them, and have cannot be expressed by using ing forms. Is it clear till now? Okay,
Yes,
no response over here. Let me just, yeah. Now we'll go to the next topic, that is the modal verb. Modal verb is also known as an helping verb, and it gives additional information about the main verb that follows it. They go out. They must go out. They should go out. They can go out. They may go out. They will go out. So these are just, a small explanation about the words must, should, can, may, and will. So you all know that will and shall is only a future tense. We generally use them most of the time, and they play different roles everywhere. So the auxiliary verbs that provide additional and specific meaning to the main verb of a sentence, and modal verbs are sometimes referred as modal auxiliary verbs because they help other verbs. How do they help is something which we are going to read in the reader now. Yeah, I request you to open your textbook, page number 120. So English language has a set of modal verbs that are used as auxiliaries. Some examples of modals include may, might, can, could, will, would, shall, should, etc. We learned these in when we might be in our grade 1. At least I learned in my grade 1 in school, where the short forms also was taught to us how to use them. We have noted the primary verbs can be used as a main verb in a sentence also. That is what we learned. And they always function like, the tenses part can be changed depending on the context. Now, the modal auxiliaries are used to express ideas such as certainty, possibility, ability, necessity, obligation. So this is what I was showing you in the slide, the meaning of those words, right? So when you understand all this, there is, I will come tomorrow. That is, certainly I will come. I'm stressing on that part. I might try to come tomorrow. I'm not sure about it. There's a possibility. Ability is how we will be learning now how to use it, the necessity and the obligations. Okay. Now the present models that we are going to learn is will, shall, may, can, and you also have the words there. The past models are also given over there. You can see the inbox over there. So what we present models are used when we speak about the future tense, future events, or it can be in the present time also. Now I am taking a session for you all. So after an hour, I might go out. So this also, I'm using the word there, might. So may, might. So that's how it speaks about the future events. So suppose you are making plans yesterday and the next winter vacation, which is 3 months away. So these can be used in different ways. The AB is marked over there in the paragraph there. These are the probabilities when you can use them. That is what is mentioned over there. Imagine these two situations. Suppose you were making plans yesterday about your next winter vacation, which is 3 months away. Suppose you are making plans today about your next winter vacation, which is 3 months away. In both situations, the winter vacation is the future. You understood now? The winter vacation is future. It is not going to happen now. But today, in the present tense, you are planning things for the future. You are required to use past models in this situation. And when in the B situation, that is, today I'm planning for my activities 3 months later. So that time when I'm trying to do this, I will use present models because this is planning now in the present time. So A situation was yesterday I was planning. So that time when I speak about those activities, I'll be using past tense. But now when I'm speaking, I'll be using the present tense. This is what it is. Yeah, I hope it is very clearly explained over there. Like just now I said, after the session, I might go out. So what I'm trying to say, I'm using, I may go out. I may go out after the session is over. So here there is a probability of me going out or visiting some place or going to the market, doing some shopping and all this. So here I'm not sure about it, but I may try to go out. Or I can say that, after an hour, I will be meeting you. Let me use this sentence, I will be meeting you. So when I use the word will, I'm sure about it. This is an activity that's going to happen. And that's what I'm giving you an information that we'll be meeting you. Let us go through these sentences in page number 121. I think we have only 5 more minutes. Let us look at these sentences. 81 to 86. John suggested that we could go to Manali this year for the vacation. So we could. The word, the form here used is could. So could is present tense or past tense? Any one of you all? Quickly, can you chat? Those who have a problem with their audio. Yeah. John is suggesting that we can go to Manali this year for the vacation. So when I'm using suggesting an ing form, the can is in present tense. But see, suggested is in past tense. So what is the form of can over here? Could. So it is in past tense form here. So here in the second sentence, it is in present tense. John said that Manali would be fun to visit in the winter. John says that Manali will be fun to visit in the winter. So this is, the present tense and the past tense, how you use the sentence is very clearly mentioned over here. We need to follow the rule. You cannot be adding words as we like when we communicate in English or when we write it down. So let us look at the sentences 87 to 91. John can come tomorrow for the party. John cannot come tomorrow for the party. Can John come tomorrow for the party? Where can John not come tomorrow? John can come tomorrow for the party, can't he? So when you see in these sentences, all these sentences are referring to what time? Is it present or future? It's only future tense that the sentences are telling you about. They're informing you about the activity that is going to happen tomorrow, what John is going to do. So they indicate that, it is a possibility. It can be, it is predictability. He can or he can come. Let us look at the sentence. Where can John not come tomorrow? So why he can't go? He may not also go there. It is not a mandatory rule that he might be coming there. So it is predictability, it is uncertainty, it is not certain he can come. Or if you look at the sentence 88, John cannot come tomorrow for the party. So it is an uncertainty. If he is not sure, there is no certainty that he is going to be present there. So then you have check your progress over here, the negative sentences, yes and no and WH sentences. I request every one of you all to go through the reader again, the 1 or 2 readings. And before you answer the check your progress, understand each topic that has been given there. Not in a hurry, please don't do the whole lesson unit reading. Go through the topic-wise reading, then answer the check your progress. After you answer on your own, try to check with the answers that are given at the end of the unit. Please try to understand, because this is something which has to go in a flow. Later when we are doing the next unit, there shouldn't be any gaps in your understanding of the chapter, right? So today we have completed block 2. Tomorrow we are going to begin with block 3, the unit 8. That is about the words and affixes. This is in a flow. So I request everyone, if you have any doubt, you can post it in the chat box so that I can make a note of that, and then we try to make some time to explain those things that you have lost or you didn't understand. Right? Am I clear with everyone? Yeah. Thank you, Aisha, Arisha. At least you responded. And Shamu, have you collected your textbooks? I don't want you to ask me to send pics of the pages again. I think it's already so many sessions that you would have got. Okay, still you didn't receive your textbook. And so, any more doubts? Was it clear? So are you now thorough with types of verbs 1 and 2? Please respond. Okay, Shamu, you can collect from the university. I think today they are open. Tomorrow, Sunday, just check out. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Navshin and Arisha. Thanks for the response. Yes, so I think please go through types of verbs, unit 6 and 7. Once again, please go through both the units and try to understand what are given over there. Do check your progress. and then try to check with the answers that are given end of the unit, and anything that you have not understood till now, please make make a list of it and then ask for explanation again. I'll do that. Okay. Thank you, students. Thank you very much. Good afternoon again. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Manjula. I think I can see students are very interactive and they are doing perfectly well. But
audio is not
number will increase, that will be of great help, right? Yeah. Even I request the students to do from their point of view to follow whatever that is there from the textbook. That's very, very important. So whenever the facilitator is giving all the information to you, at least within this week, because 2 days you're constantly getting the instructions for every block. If you see the block immediately, then you'll be able to understand in a better way. And you can prepare well for that also, right? I can see all of them are interacting very well with you, Manjula, and trust it's going to be very useful to the student community as well. Thank you so much. Yeah, good afternoon, students.
Yeah, bye now.